We'll go ahead with questions for Paige Vaught and Veronica Burton.
First question, Veronica. Did you know that you were 2 rebounds away from a triple-double?
I did not know at all. I was told immediately after, though. I was told I was close, in the third quarter. Didn't know, though.
And then just for both of you guys, we came off, worst scoring output of the season for the team on Tuesday. And quick turnaround after a game like that, only 2 days off. How do you bounce back mentally and try to get back to some more offensive success in a game like this?
Mm-hmm. I would say it's really just trusting each other and relying on each other. If one person's not producing, we have 14 others that can. And I think that's what's something really special about this team this year is we have so many offensive threats. Obviously, I haven't really been scoring at the level that I could be, but I'm passing to the next person I can. Kayla Rainey coming in, Leia Hartman coming in, Jack and Shots, and they're hitting. So I think just being able to utilize the people that we have, 1 through 15, because we have a lot of good scorers on our team.
I think that one thing that Bates do is that we set goals before every game. So that's just something that we have, and we always remind each other what our goals are throughout the game, just to keep us steady and on pace.
And Paige, sort of to follow up on that, I'm pretty sure, I don't have the exact number, but I'm pretty sure it's the most minutes you played this year, 25 minutes, coming in off the bench, with the foul trouble for both Walsh and Shaw. And when you're in game like that, playing the level of minutes that you haven't necessarily played the rest of the season, is that something that you have to mentally adjust to, or is that part of that, pregame, knowing that when I'm called on, I got to be out there, be ready to contribute?
No, I think I'm always ready. I'm always ready to play. I'm always ready to step up, step in. Super excited to play.
Paige, being from Philly, did this game hold any extra weight for you?
Yes, it held a lot of weight because Temple did not recruit me at all. They didn't even know about me. And my whole family's from Philly. It was crazy. But yes, I'd show out.
Was there a point in the game where you sort of felt it oh, I'm sort of dominating here?
I don't think I realized I was dominating or anything, but I realized it when all the posts were rotating through and I was still in. I was like, uh-oh, what's going on?
Just in general, it seemed like in the first half, things were more of a grind offensively. We talked about that in the last game as well. And then in the third quarter, for the second time in 2 games, you guys come out with a different lineup as a team. Paige, you started the third quarter with Leia, and it seemed like that gave you guys the jolt again. Was there something about that coming out of halftime that motivated or jolted you guys into that more scoring?
Shout out to our coaches. I feel like just adjusting on the fly, seeing what group is going to work together just to get the momentum on our side. And I think the 5 that are on the floor in the third quarter have been doing a great job. Whoever that may be, I've been doing a great job because in the locker room we often talk about coming out, setting the tone early in the third quarter, and that's when we kind of make our run. And so, yeah.
And then next game, coming up against Oregon, obviously circled on the schedule. We got a little name for it and everything. Solstice Joe down. And when you guys have had a few games in a row now where you've had more of a Big Ten rest schedule than a non-conference rest schedule, if you will, some quick turnarounds. Does it make it more challenging to get up for a big game like that? Does it make it more of how do you sort of refocus on that game when you're coming off of a string of a few games in a row?
I don't think everybody's saying this is going to be a big game. I don't think this is going to be a big game. I think this is going to be the same game that we've been playing the whole season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's next man up, honestly, next opponent, whoever it may be. So we won this one, we move on, and we start preparing as soon as possible.
Veronica, for you, having been on Team USA with Sedona, is there anything noticeable there? I guess is it going to be any way to commiserate?
It'll be very cool. She's a great girl. She's a lot of fun to play with. So it'll be interesting being on the other side because I've never played against her before. So.
And then Paige is a post. How do you anticipate going up against someone of Sedona's size?
How tall is she?
6'7".
I'm not worried about it. I'm really not, because I go against, I don't know how tall Mercy is, but I feel like she's tall. We go against Mercy all the time. Can't be that different.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Head Coach Joe McKeown. Then we'll go to questions.
Yeah, let me first say, tonight we had the opportunity to honor one of the great women's basketball people of all time, Mel Greenberg. And, you know, I've been around him. I've been in the game 40-some years too. But what he's done, well, I explained to our players, because they're 19, 20 years old, he's done as much to promote and move our game forward as the Pat Summers and Gino Ariemas and Tara Vanderveers and the people that have impacted our game so much. You know, so it's great for us to have Mel here, and just I think our players got a chance to spend some time with him today, and just the things that he's done behind the scenes to promote women's basketball all over the country, USA Basketball Olympics, but grassroots too, and you know, really proud to call him a friend. So that being said, Mel graduated from Temple, so that you know, and Temple has a special place for me too, and you know, for a lot of the people from Philly. My father went to night school at Temple. My sister graduated from Temple. You know, I just learned so much from John Chaney and Jimmy Maloney and people over the years, and great rivalries with Dawn Staley at Temple, and you know, when we were in the Atlantic 10 together, and what Tanya's doing and what she's done over the last 14 years, just a lot of respect. You know, we grinded. We knew it was going to be a grind game. We're not, you know, we need to get out and run, you know, speed the game up a little bit. And Temple controlled the pace a lot, especially in the first half. But, you know, we also did a good job, I thought, in the third and fourth quarter of, you know, just getting up the floor quicker, getting better shots, trying to get to the rim a little easier. You know, they hit some tough shots too. So that being said, when you got Burton, you know, she just takes games over at the end. That's what she does, and she's done it her whole career. And you know, I'm glad she's on my team.
Yeah, I was just going to say, they were kind of the answers tonight, because there were a few times there where Temple was getting it together, making a run, and then bang, got a steal, got a score, came right back, did it again, and then you got a little breathing room again. And
Yeah, we couldn't get rid of them, you know. No, we couldn't get rid of it. Like we get it to 6 or 8, and then, you know, they come back, they'd hit a 3, or they get a put back, and you know, we just, you know, give Temple credit too. We couldn't turn them over in the backcourt where I thought we could tonight coming in, where we might get some easy baskets. They did a good job of attacking that, and then, you know, you just weren't going to go away. So, you know, we had play. You got to play 4 quarters. So we got you know, as these guys mentioned, you know, Paige did we got, you know, good, you know, really good support from our bench tonight, and we're going to need that all year.
Coach, you mentioned that Temple sort of controlled the pace in the first half. In the second half, and you guys were able to take it over more in the second half. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seemed like that was sort of the case against Milwaukee as well, where it was sort of that first half, second half dichotomy a little bit in terms of pace. How do you guys fix that as a team? How do you come out of the gates with a little bit more controlling the tempo the way you want?
Well, you know, tonight we just got Jillian Brown back, who's an explosive scorer. It's her first game back. Lauren Satterwhite had been out, got hurt in the Clemson game. You know, we're just getting her back, who, you know, is a fifth-year senior, has hit big shots for us her whole career. So getting those guys, and Leah Hartman has really, you know, given us a tremendous shot in the arm. So, you know, I think just we got different lineups. You know, people aren't used to playing. We got Mercy, did a good job tonight, and she's going to help us. Her size, I think, will help us in the Big Ten. So, you know, again, we got 5 freshmen. They're just, you know, they haven't played together. Our timing can be a little shaky, and that's something we got to address. Not just for the Oregon game, but as soon as we get back to get ready for the Big Ten.
Speaking of that bench, you have Sydney Wood, currently injured, Anna Morris coming back, Jillian. You have such a plethora of talent. What kind of, I guess, challenges does that present to you as a coach, and how does it also make the group better as a whole?
Well, I think when we can get, you know, Sydney Wood is an all-conference player, and, you know, 4-year starter, played in on Big Ten championship teams, had an integral part of the NCAA tournament run last year. So, that is a tough spot because her experience is, she's just like Veronica defensively, and the two of them play so much. They play together their whole career. They're just so, but what it does, it creates competition and it creates opportunities. So people, are going to have chances to step up. And, I think in practice we're seeing more of that now. Finals week here is tough. We talked about it. And we just played 3 games in, I don't know, 6 days, 7 days, I guess, Delaware. And then, Milwaukee, again, Delaware, Milwaukee, Temple, all teams that have finished close to or at the top of their leagues. So, they come in here ready to play. And, Oregon's, finished top of their league too. So that'll be fun.
Speaking about Oregon, Jacob mentioned the size factor earlier with Prince, and obviously they have a lot of size across that lineup, but they also have that talent level, that Big Ten comparable talent level. So do you prepare for a game like this like you would a conference game as a coaching staff?
That's a good point. That's a really good point. I think, I think for us, we're so young, we got to prepare and kind of look out for our business, and knowing that Oregon has got a lot of weapons inside out, both ends of the floor. But, I think it'd be a great game for us to, see if we can play the way we want to play, against a really good team.
It's also sort of interesting, maybe this is just the thing that interests me, but, Oregon's had a couple guards transfer out in last year that are now in the Big Ten. So you're going to see 2 of them, in Taylor Mikesell at Ohio State and Jazz Shelley in Nebraska, over the conference schedule. Is there any potential connection there where you watch Oregon play and then you get to see some of those players?
Well, Taylor Mikesell, I feel like we played against 100 times,
Right.
And but she's had some great games against us. She was also on, the Maryland team that we beat here, and one of the best games we played that year when we won a championship. She's a great player. They recruit at the highest level. People leave, they just get another, they just regroup and bring in 4 or 5 more All-Americans. So, I don't think anybody's feeling sorry for Kelly Graves, especially me, since he's a friend of mine. But it'd be great. It'd be a lot of fun.
And then just to talk about Burton's performance tonight for a second here, she talked about how she struggled with the scoring side of things the last couple games. But tonight she placed in the performance 10 assists, 4 steals, a block, no turnovers, no fouls, which I personally, now there's a lot more basketball experience in this room than me, but I don't think I personally ever seen a stat line like that where she's not turned the ball over even one time with all those assists. What does that speak to her about her game?
Well, and against a really good defensive team that was, kind of got back on D. They found her early in transition. They made sure they had help when she got by the first wave. And but she's a great player. She to me is as good as any point guard in the country. Because of her physical skills, obviously you got to have that part. But mentally, she's so tough and so smart, and her decision making is so good. And you saw that. You saw that tonight. And again, we got to help her a little bit. We got to, over the next couple of weeks, we got to shoot the ball better. People got to step up, because she had 32 points at Clemson. I loved all 32, but that's too many for your point guard. She for us to be a great team, continue to grow. She's doing whatever she has to do for us to win, but we need other people to step up. Okay. Guys, thank you. Okay.